Today, Operation Desert Storm is often described as the first modern war. But on the ground, it was a strange mix of Cold War hardware, export variants, and improvised solutions. In this video, we're looking at 10 135 scale model kits that best capture the character of that campaign. Our ranking opens with the Humvee by Academy, offered in two different versions. During Operation Desert Storm, the Humvee was used on a massive scale. It served as a patrol vehicle, a communications platform, a convoy escort, and a general-purpose transport, essentially a universal workhorse of the U.S. Army in the early 1990s. Build complexity is moderate and should not present serious difficulties even for beginners. Detailing is solid, without unnecessary over-engineering or unpleasant surprises. The kit's main strength, however, is its price. It's so competitive that it easily outweighs almost any potential drawbacks. And realistically, there is only one drawback. The Humvee itself is somewhat trivial. It's extremely familiar, widely built, and rarely feels like an unusual modeling choice. That's exactly why it takes the 10th spot. Overall, it's a well-balanced kit and a confident way to open the list. Ninth place goes to the YW701A Armored Command and Control Vehicle from Bronco Models. In the context of the Gulf War, this vehicle represents a less familiar side of the conflict: command and support assets, rather than frontline combat vehicles. It's a rare example of Chinese-designed armored equipment used by Iraq, and one that rarely appears in scale model collections. As with most Bronco kits, this model is demanding to build. The high level of detail, large parts count, and complex assembly sequence make it clearly unsuitable for beginners. However, for experienced modelers, especially those who enjoy exotic subjects and very high levels of detail, this kit is exactly what it promises. Eighth place goes to the CH-47D Chinook by Trumpeter. During the Gulf War, the Chinook was heavily used for troop transport, resupply, and moving equipment. It was one of those aircraft the coalition's logistics simply depended on. In 135 scale, the model immediately stands out because of its size. This is a genuinely large project, and it's something you need to be prepared for, both in terms of space and time. The build itself is moderately complex. On paper, it doesn't look extreme, but for beginners, it's still not a great choice, mainly due to the size and the need for careful alignment. The kit has two obvious drawbacks. The first one is the price. It's not cheap, and it's clearly aimed at a more deliberate purchase. The second is, again, the size. Once finished, the model takes up a lot of shelf space. There's one more thing worth mentioning. The kit doesn't include Desert Storm-specific decals or a dedicated painting guide. That means the Gulf War look is entirely up to the modeler and requires some research and interpretation. If your budget and display space allow it, the CH-47D from Trumpeter can still become a very impressive Gulf War-era model. Seventh place goes to the T-72 by Tamiya. During Operation Desert Storm, the T-72 was the most modern tank in Iraqi service. These vehicles were used by the most capable Iraqi units and represented the main armored opponent faced by coalition forces in 1991. The Tamiya kit does require some interpretation from the modeler. The instruction manual does not include a dedicated desert paint scheme, so a Gulf War-era finish has to be researched and chosen independently. That said, this is where Tamiya's approach really works. The kit offers solid overall accuracy combined with a relatively simple and straightforward build, without unnecessary complications. Because of that balance, this model works equally well for beginners and experienced builders. Newcomers can assemble it without frustration, while more advanced modelers still have room to improve the finish through paint and weathering. It's precisely this balance between simplicity and a clean final result that earns the T-72 by Tamiya its place at number 7. Sixth place goes to the M551 Sheridan by Academy. During Operation Desert Storm, the Sheridan was used by U.S. airborne units, most notably the 82nd Airborne Division. By 1991, the vehicle was already considered outdated, but it remained in service due to its lightweight and air-deployable nature, making it one of the more unusual armored vehicles seen during the campaign. The Academy kit follows the company's familiar approach. Assembly is relatively simple, without unnecessary complexity or unpleasant surprises, which makes the model accessible to a wide range of builders. Detailing is solid straight out of the box, but not excessive. The kit offers room for further refinement if desired, while still looking clean and convincing when built without aftermarket parts. It's this combination of an uncommon subject and a calm, straightforward build that earns the Sheridan by Academy its 6th place in the ranking. 5th place goes to the T-55 in Iraqi service by Italeri. During the Gulf War, the T-55 was the most common tank in the Iraqi army. These vehicles formed the backbone of regular army units and were most often seen in defensive positions, trenches, and fortified areas, effectively serving as the Iraqi side's workhorse. The Italeri kit is clearly not a modern release, and that shows. Assembly is quite simple with no advanced detailing or complex engineering, which makes the kit approachable even for less experienced builders. Accuracy and detail level are modest by today's standards. This is more of a basic platform for upgrades than a highly refined out-of-the-box model. The main strength of this kit lies in its simplicity and historical relevance. The Italeri T-55 allows you to build a very typical Iraqi Gulf War tank without much effort, even if it comes with certain compromises. That balance of simplicity, mass-produced subject, and straightforward character is exactly why it earns its 5th place in the ranking. 4th place goes to the M60A1 with Dozer blade by Takom. During the Gulf War, M60 series tanks were still widely used by U.S. and Allied forces, especially in secondary and support roles. Dozer-equipped variants were employed for obstacle clearance, preparing defensive positions, and various engineering tasks, making them a recognizable part of the campaign beyond frontline tank combat. Takom offers several different M60 variants, and this is just one of them. The Dozer blade version stands out as a more unusual and visually distinctive option compared to standard gun tank configurations. As a model, the kit reflects Takom's typical approach. Detailing is strong, the engineering is modern, and the build is more demanding than older generation kits, though still reasonable for anyone with some experience. It's not the simplest build in the list, but the final result is visually convincing and clearly different from more familiar Gulf War armor. That combination of an interesting subject and a well-executed kit is exactly why the M60A1 with Dozer blade earns its 4th place. The top 3 of our ranking opens with the M2 Bradley by Tamiya. During the Gulf War, the M2 Bradley became one of the key vehicles of the U.S. Army. It was heavily used alongside main battle tanks, transporting infantry and engaging Iraqi armored vehicles, playing a major role in the ground phase of the campaign. The Tamiya kit follows the company's classic philosophy. Assembly is simple and logical, with excellent fit and no unnecessary complexity, making the build process very comfortable. At the same time, overall accuracy remains solid despite the age of the kit. This is one of those models that works equally well for beginners and experienced builders. Newcomers get a smooth build, while advanced modelers have a very good base for further detailing. It's this combination of historical importance, a recognizable silhouette, and a near-perfect balance between simplicity and quality that earns the Tamiya M2 Bradley its place at number 3. 2nd place goes to the Type 69 by Takom. During the Gulf War, the Type 69 was widely used by the Iraqi army and represented the Chinese branch of Soviet-derived armor seen during the conflict. Based on the T-55, it featured a number of visible external differences, which made it one of the most characteristic, yet often overlooked, Iraqi tanks of 1991. Takom's kit presents this vehicle with a modern approach. Detailing is sharp, the geometry is clean, and the engineering is clearly a step above older kits of the same subject. At the same time, the build remains reasonable and well-balanced. The kit doesn't feel unnecessarily complicated, but it is clearly aimed at builders with some experience, especially if a convincing Gulf War finish is the goal. It's this combination of a distinctive Iraqi vehicle, strong visual presence, and a high-quality modern kit that brings the Takom Type 69 to 2nd place in the ranking. In 1st place, and this probably comes as no surprise, is the M1 Abrams. During Operation Desert Storm, the Abrams became the defining symbol of the ground war. It was the primary striking force of U.S. armored units and the most recognizable vehicle of the entire 1991 campaign. Among all the available options on the market, the version by Ryefield model stands out as the strongest overall choice. The build is demanding, with a large number of small and fragile parts and a very high level of complexity. In return, the level of detail is exceptional. It's also worth noting that this Abrams is a non-interior kit, even though RFM is well known for offering many full interior releases. This keeps the focus on exterior accuracy and the final visual impact. That combination of an iconic subject, top-tier detailing, and a serious, uncompromising kit design makes the RFM Abrams a well-deserved #1. Thanks for watching until the end. Let me know in the comments which picks you agree with, which ones you don't, and what other top lists you'd like to see next. See you in the next one.